Hello ladies, this is Jules. Okay, we're starting back up with our newbie segments. And I've had this request for about a month now by a viewer by the name of Shanta. Hi Shanta. I'll put her YouTube channel name up on the screen so you guys can check her out. She's got a few videos out, some tutorials, and she does really beautiful work. By the way, Shanta, you really do. But she had asked me if I can help her to figure out how to make sure that you're in frame when you're working at your station. And that was something that I had such a hard time with at the beginning of my making videos. And you know what, by the way, I was noticing that I'm about to hit my 100th video, which is, wow, in about, 5.5, 6 months, something like that. December, January, March, April, May. Not even 5 months yet. Actually, at the end of this month should be 5 months. Wow. I've been busy, huh? I think I'm going to be doing a giveaway for that, for when I hit that 100 video mark. So stay tuned for that, you guys. Anyways, how do you make sure you're in frame? Okay, right now I'm standing in between my workstation and actually I'm not standing in between it. What's in between me and my workstation is my tripod with my camera on top of it. You're going to hear some clicking sounds, so I'm going to just take my camera off of my tripod and then show you something. Okay, so I just took it off of my tripod, and this is how I have my tripod. This is Charlie's little blankie, and she lays down here with me. So here's my workstation, and when I work, I tend to have my camera angled like right at what I'm doing here, my station, my work table, my workspace. I try to already have focused in just from like right here to the very top of the craft sheet to the very end here of the craft sheet and right here. Sometimes I'll be a little closer because I'm showing something a little bit more detailed. With my camera specifically, I cannot zoom in or out, so that's a really a big problem for me. Before, when I first started to do videos, I had my table on the other side of the room, and it wasn't this table. It was a different table. It was, actually, I don't even want to show you the other table because I have a bunch of stuff on there, and it's a mess. But I used to have my tripod, if you can look at the legs here of the tripod. Let me set it up here real quick. And I have my lamp kind of aimed right at my station here. But I have these things here where I can make this part of the leg go all the way up in here, so it'll actually stand tall from like right here to right here. So it'll be a small one. Or you can get the tabletop one, which is a really nice one. It's I believe it's very flexible on the inside, and it has this rubbery grip thing that you can it's just bendable, very, very flexible. So and I used to have this particular one on my table like this with my camera on there facing down at the smallest setting or the shortest setting, so that I can have my space here and without my, the leg showing. If you look back on like my 3rd, 4th, 5th video, something like that, because the first 2 I was in LA. And I'm sitting on the bed, on my nephew's bed. So the videos after then, I used to try and figure out my angle. What did I want to do? What was more comfortable for me? I really didn't like the tripod on the table, so I started to learn how other people were doing it, and when the camera looked like it was right in front of their project, so that they can show their project a lot better. Excuse the noise. And I remember watching Jade. Hi, Jade. I remember watching Jade, and there was a reflection of something that she had. She was showing, I think, in a hall or something. There was a reflection from some plastic or whatever it was, and I can see that there was a camera like right at her face. And I actually left a comment on that video, and I asked her, "Do you have the camera like mounted on your head?" I really did. I thought she had like a belt strap on her forehead, and I thought she had the camera like sitting on the belt thing, like right on her head, like, the miners with that big light lamp thing. I thought it was like that. I really, really did, you guys. I know, don't laugh at me. Okay, laugh at me. But I asked her that, and she's like, "Yeah, I guess it looks like it is mounted on my head, huh?" But I can't remember if she was the one who told me or someone told me that no, they had their camera mounted on the tripod, and it was just in between them and their workstations, so that when you're showing, but when you're working on a project and you want to show it or whatever, you want to be able to make sure that you're in frame here, and you can always look at your screen behind the lens, and you can always just look through it as you're, showing it. But when you're not standing behind the camera like this, there is another way that you can do it, and this is how I used to do it. I'm going to move the camera a little bit again, okay, you guys? I used to have the tripod, too, like sitting on top of the table on this side. Now, when you have it on this side, you need to make sure that you're focused in enough or zoomed in enough where you can see the project. And what you want to do is have marks, because you're not going to be able to look at your screen through your camera if you're sitting over here. So what I used to do is I would grab, whatever I had, little tools, and I would set things like right here and right here and something else like right here. And I would zoom in enough where I would be in alignment with those things, whether it be from far, like this, and it would be zoomed in. I would set it before I start recording since I can't zoom in, when I'm during the recording. I would zoom in right before I hit the record button. So once I had it zoomed in where I was in my frame, my little boundaries here, I would set it and then start recording. Then I would run to my chair and start recording. I would have to do the editing thing because, of course, there would be that dead air. But from when you hit the record button to when you're getting to your station so that you can start showing, your project or what have you. So those things is how I know that I'm in frame. And I did at one point have like little post-it strips, those little strips of post-it notes just sitting on the edges too. So when your camera is way out here, then you would see your items that you had set in your boundaries, and you would only work within those boundaries. That is how I can tell and how I knew that it was in frame. Now it's kind of hard to be able to show your project from here, and one of the best ways, whenever you can, if you don't have a tripod, then you have to work with what you have. If you have to set your camera on a stand or on some books or something, you have to have it tilted or what have you, or just do it where you're actually holding your camera and then recording as you're holding it, which is, not very steady. But once you can I would just recommend you to get a tripod if you could. A tabletop one if you are comfortable with it being on the table, or a larger tripod where, like mine. And then, you can adjust the height and the size of it so that you can fit it where you need it. So this is the easiest way that I can think of that was helpful to me. When I set my camera to record and I knew that my items were sitting there, I wouldn't touch them. I would leave them there. Sometimes I would zoom in enough where they would be like this, right out of view of the screen, but I knew that they were there, so I still knew to work within this center here. Okay? So that's how I knew that I was in frame and that I wasn't off on one side and not showing it or having it like right here in the corner, and it wasn't, wasn't able to show my project. So, and too, when you're editing and stuff, when you're uploading, you'll be able to tell with practice, that you have been out of frame on certain areas, and you'll just get used to being in your area. So get yourself some borders here and work within those things. When I know that a lot of people don't have certain cameras, or that there's one that I want that I can't have yet because I don't have the money for it. But work with what you have, and then set whatever you need to do. How silly it may seem, do whatever you need to do to make it where it's comfortable for you, and where you can make sure that you're in frame. So that is a tip from me to you guys, because that's how I've learned until I got my tripod and figured out that my camera, because the tripod is for my camcorder. And I can't use that because it's too old and I don't have the right equipment for it to upload anything on my laptop. So I'm using my camera. So there you go. There's my the tip for making sure that you're in frame. So this is my newbie segment number 6. So you guys stay tuned because I will be trying to get another one out this week. Okay? All right, you guys. Jules signing out of the Jule Box. Talk to y'all later. Bye.